Hello everyone, this is Gary from Fantastic Fundas, and today we are studying about the social and cultural awakening in the first half of the 19th century. Right? So basically, actually, just to give you a background of the lecture, we have done all the governor journals. We also talked about so many other things right up to 1885. I stopped there because here come happens a very important thing, and that was formation of Congress. Right? We have done governor generals up to Dufferin. So that in this background, now I would like to talk to you about social and cultural awakening. We will talk about the religious awakening in the next lecture. Now this lecture involves a lot of rote learning. बहुत रट्टा आपको इसके अंदर मारने को मिलेगा. Okay, because this chapter is full of facts and facts. Okay, so first of all, the first question that arises, it's not that सिर्फ रट्टा ही होगा. It's not just that there would be only learning. You would also need to understand the things why they were happening. I will try to make it easier for you to remember whole of the text. Okay. So first, the first question that arises over here is that why this awakening was happening now, why it did not happen earlier, and why at this particular time. The reason was that because first there was it was impact of Western culture on India. See, Western culture in itself is not always good or bad. It can be good or bad, right? And then there was the impact of modern Western culture, and then there was consciousness of defeat by a foreign power, right? We defeated by foreign power. So we felt that something has to be changed because foreigners are ruling us. We had to change with time. So to fight this, right? And why were we defeated by the foreign power? It was because of our weaknesses, right? And weaknesses in what sector? They were in social sector. Number one is social structure. That was problem. For example, that casteism in Hinduism. Hindus का जो casteism का system है. एंड देन इन एवरी रिलीजन देयर वाज सम प्रॉब्लम, या फिर वो एक पर्दा की जो प्रथा है मुस्लिम्स के अंदर जो हिजब या वो जो पहन के रखती हैं, तो दैट थिंग. एंड सेकेंड इज कल्चर. ओके, so all these things were creating problem. Women were backward, and so because of all these things, these were few backwardnesses which we had to think. Okay, but the major reforms that we study of the period were related to Hinduism only at this time. Muslim reforms happened a little later. Okay, and then people started thinking that how do we remove all these weaknesses, right? Whatever I'm saying is part of history, and that is the truth. I'm not saying on my own in my own person. मैं अपनी तरफ से नहीं कुछ भी बना कर कह रहा हूँ आपको. Okay, so all this led to reforms, and then what kind of reforms, what kind of people, on what basis these reform would be based, किस बेस पर किस सिद्धांत के ऊपर बनेंगे ये सारे जो रिफॉर्म्स आ रहे हैं, उनका सिद्धांत क्या होगा, उनके सिद्धांत, उनके बेसिस, द बेसिस ऑफ द रिफॉर्म वुड बी science, number one. Number two is reasoning. Right? Number three is humanism. Okay, now these three factors, you can use these three things wherever you can use this lecture in your essay. See, this is such an important lecture, and then you can use this in your ethics paper. अगर आप UPSC का लिख रहे हैं, this is paper 4 of GS, इसको you can use this lecture there, and of course in paper 1 of GS this lecture can be used. Whatever I'm going to teach today, you can always give a running reference to these people. So in this background, we will talk about the awakening, the social cultural awakening, right? So when I talk about the renaissance, the cultural, the social renaissance of India, so the best person to start with would be this man who was also known as the father of Indian Renaissance. Can you guess who he was? If you think that it was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then you're right. We'll talk about everything, why he got this title and everything, right? This man, he lived up to 1833, and 72 he was born. 1772 ये ना वॉरेन हेस्टिंग के टाइम पर, तब ये बच्चा था जब वॉरेन हेस्टिंग इंडिया का गवर्नर, बंगाल का गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ फोर्ट विलियम बन गया था. तो ही वॉज जस्ट बॉर्न दैट टाइम. ओके, खैर, So he was the first leader of modern India. Now what were things he was fighting against? So he fought against few things. He fought what? Okay, let me just rub this here. This is not required. I would like to cover up whole of the Raja Ram Mohan Rao in single page only, if possible. Let's see. Right, what did he fight? Right, he fought against the stagnant society. He wanted the society to move. Right, there was like sati system. Now he was against sati system. You see, even the casteism or the parda system or the burqa system, right? So all these things, they are not part of dynamic society. Society must evolve. Society को आगे बढ़ना चाहिए जैसी जैसी समाज में बदलाव आता है, जैसे जैसे समाज में अवेयरनेस आती है. पहले उसी women were having such a good position in Indian society earlier on. Then what happened is slowly, bad things in religions creeped in, and then things were denuded. तो ऐसी problem आनी शुरू हो गई. तो stagnant society, right? Number one. Number two, there was corruption. चाहे वो कोई भी थे. Lot of people, Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs, so much of corruption was there in their religious priests. Now religious priests, they were highly corrupt. Even today it is happening, and we will have some reformer coming up, who reforms all these people. And then of course casteism, this was the biggest problem, right? And then superstitions, right? How many of you believe in superstition? Right, I don't care about superstition. बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई, घबरा जाते हैं लोग. आप पढ़े लिखे लोग, you are educated people, literate, you are literates, right? Please understand that these superstitions lead to nowhere, nothing. You just wasting your time and effort and energy if you believe in these superstitions. Rise above your superstitions, okay? Believe in yourself first. So the next thing that is important at this time is the ideology. What was his ideology of Raja Ram Mohan Roy? And ideology was that he respected the traditional philosophical system of the East. Okay, East is us. So he believed in the philosophy. And he said that but he believed that the modern culture alone can help. He believed in philosophy, plus he said that but if you need a reform, we need modern culture, right? A lot of people associate a lot of bad things with modern culture. हमारा जो नया modern culture है, लोग उसको criticize करते रहते हैं. See, उसके अंदर कुछ चीज़ें अच्छी हैं, कुछ बुरी हैं, right? What we have to do is try to differentiate, the good and the bad things. Okay, now. What kind of his ideology was? He wanted a rational scientific approach. So a rational approach, right? Rational scientific approach. What should be done properly on scientific basis with reasoning, right? And he focused on human dignity. ये नहीं कि ये इसकी ये caste है तो इसमें ये बुरा है. No. Everyone is equal. We must respect others, right? ये तो राजा राम मोहन रॉय का कहना था. Even I, urge you for the same. Respect all. Okay, now this human reasoning, he said, if you go to Vedas and if you follow the policy of Vedanta, if you study religion, it says that all are equal. These superstitions in India, they were introduced, they were not part of original Hinduism, right? They are corrupted forms of Hinduism. They are not part of religion even. So he would say we need to go back to the original text, right? Now he said, and he went on to go on to say that even if you have some religious text saying some book, some tradition, so if book or tradition is something which does not appeal to conscience or reason or science, we can depart from it, we can leave it, right? A lot of people can argue that our religion says that we need to have caste system or parda pratha or burqa pratha. I mean, Hindus had this parda pratha, but this is no more relevant. So we can move on from that according to Raja Ram Mohan Roy, right? Now, please, you don't have to get violent on this in your comments. Whenever I'm saying this is the most rational scientific things, and this is expected of the literate people. Of course, I'm not saying कि अगर किसी को अपनी मर्जी से ही करना है, somebody wishfully wants to wear a parda or whatever, let them do it. But I don't. How many people would be doing that? That's a different matter. Anyway, right? He favored introduction of his ideology included. Third thing his ideology included was capitalism. He focused on private capital, and not just this, right? Because he wanted to promote industry, right? All the modern things. Such a modern man he was. And he wanted basically that India should adopt the best of the East and the West. best of the east and the west, right? He said only demonstrability of the truth, जिस चीज़ को डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट नहीं किया जा सकता, समझाया नहीं जा सकता, उसको ट्रुथ नहीं कहा जा सकता. ही बिलीव्ड इन डिमॉन्स्ट्रेबिलिटी, दैट इट वाज अ सोल क्राइटेरियन ऑफ ट्रुथ. इनफैक्ट दिस इज ऑल्सो अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ द रैशनल साइंटिफिक एटीट्यूड. जिस चीज़ को समझाया नहीं जा सकता उसको ट्रुथ नहीं माना जा सकता. ओके, and then he believed in he believed in infallibility of Vedas. Okay, but though Debendranath Tagore, बाद में जाके हम देखेंगे, he repudiates this doctrine, इसको वो मना करते हैं कि शिवचंद्र सेन भी मना करेंगे, but still they were also based on Vedas more or less. So basically he said original Vedas, not the corrupted Vedas जो बहुत सारे लोगों ने बाद में उसके अंदर चीज़ें डाल दी, right? If we talk about the intellect level of Mr. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then it was that he knew almost 12 plus languages. 12 से ज़्यादा languages आती हैं. आपको कितनी आती हैं? 2 या 3, 4 maximum, right? Knew more than a dozen languages. In fact, in Persian language, he wrote a book. It was called Gift to Monotheists. Gift to Monotheists. He wrote this book. And then, in this book he argues against the belief in many gods and for the worship of single god. Monotheist, एक भगवान को माने, भगवान एक है. Okay, and then this was in 1809, right? Year is not important. This is just for easier to make things easier to remember, right? And then what happened after that? He in 1820 he published a book. Now this next book is in 1820, and the name of this book is The Precepts of Jesus. Okay, Precepts of Jesus. So this was happening, right? Precepts of Jesus. In this book he tries to separate the moral and the philosophic message of the New Testament, right? There in Christianity there are 2 testaments. One is old and the new. The new is the one जो कि after changes, after reforms, जो नया testament आया था. Okay, and he wanted high moral message of Christ to be incorporated in Hindus. See, please try to understand, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, we all can learn from each other, right? And this is what he's talking in this book, Precepts of Jesus. He says whatever Jesus teaches, it can be learned by Hindus. What is the problem, right? You remain a Hindu even if you learn from them. Please try to understand that this also brings religious harmony. Now if you understand history better, you will be a good citizen of India through and through these videos. If you get to know that even all our leaders whom we worship, they also thought like this only. Okay, so for example, I don't know if you have read that book. I've read that Sermon from the Mount, right? It's a beautiful book. If you go and read that talks about messages of Christianity, and that is equally Hinduism के अंदर भी इसको अप्लाई किया गया. And जो बातें वहाँ की गई हैं, अगर आप भगवत गीता पढ़ें, I have read that also, and दोनों के अंदर सेम बातें, कुछ के almost it's a similar message they are talking about. Okay. So, he wanted high moral message of this to be incorporated in the Hinduism. See, whenever it's written in any religion, whether Sikhism or Hinduism, in जैसे for example Guru Granth Sahib जी इसके अंदर वो कहते हैं कि you should fight, and then in Bhagavad Gita they say fight. Whenever they are saying fight, the first person to be fought is you, right? Is yourself. आपको खुद से लड़ना है, ना कि औरों से जाके लड़ना है. दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. एंड इफ यू आर सक्सेसफुल इन दिस, in fighting yourself, there will be no need left to fight others, right? So many people think that our religion is in danger, Islam is in danger, Hinduism, Sikhism is in danger. ये लोग चिल्लाते हैं ना, जितने extremist लोग होते हैं. अरे भाई, religion is so great, that it is not so weak, it is very strong, that it cannot get destroyed by action of any person, right? If it is a strong religion, it will survive, it need not be protected by anyone. That is the point. If its teachings are good, they are good forever. Anyway, so some people think they can protect the religion as if they are bigger than religion. Anyway, some more information about him is that he wrote few more books, like for example in 1797, like this was much before this Precepts of Jesus and Gift to Monotheists. In this book there was a book written called Maha Nirvana Tantra. Now this book basically it was by 3 people, and this book tried to actually link one god of ancient religious text. ठीक है, तो ये क्या कह रहे थे ये लोग? एक तो इसके अंदर ऑथर कौन थे इसके? there were 3 people involved in this, right? One was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Number 2, the person, his name was William Carey. बाद में जाके राजा राम मोहन राय वुड फाइट विद दिस, आर्ग्यूमेंट हो जाए, ही विल गेट इनटू आर्ग्यूमेंट विद विलियम कैरी. खैर यू नो विलियम कैरी केम टू इंडिया फॉर प्रोपेगेशन ऑफ क्रिश्चियनिटी. ही सेड दैट आई विल ट्रांसलेट बाइबल इनटू वेरियस इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस एंड आई विल प्रोपेगेट क्रिश्चियनिटी इन इंडिया, यू नो, एंड देन दैट इज हाउ ही गॉट इन टच विद राजा राम मोहन रॉय. इट वाज नॉट दैट राजा राम मोहन रॉय वांटेड टू प्रमोट क्रिश्चियनिटी. ये नहीं इसका मतलब निकलता, वो तो इसलिए आया था कि उसकी हेल्प कर सके किसी तरीके से, राइट. इट वाज अ वेरी कोऑपरेटिव थिंग, कुछ एंटागनिस्टिक नहीं था, लड़ाइयाँ नहीं थी इसके अंदर. एंड देयर वाज वन मोर पर्सन इन्वॉल्वड, एज आई सेड 3 people देयर. हिज नेम वाज हरिहर नंदा विद्या बागिश. Okay, now Harinanda, he was basically a tantric, and this Mahanirvan Tantra involved these 3 people. Okay, and then if you talk about more intellectual capabilities of this person, what was happening that he worked as a munshi, right? But you know he was a writer in East India Company, and after becoming the writer, he was also a munshi in the circuit court of Munshi in Murshidabad, right? And then finally, you know, the final fact is that he's known as the father of the Indian Renaissance. Okay, so this was primarily things about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He did more about those things, but those topics can come also as an independent topics. For example, he talked about Atmiya Sabha also, Brahmo Samaj also. Okay, so these are his basic things, but what were his major contributions of Raja Ram Mohan Rai that we will talk now. First of all, he had a major role in abolition of Sati Pratha. I hope you know what is Sati. Sati meant that whenever husband died, the wife had to go and burn herself on the very pyre. जिस अर्थी के ऊपर हस्बैंड को जलाया जाता था, उसी के ऊपर वाइफ को भी जंप करके साथ में जल जाना होता था. ये था सती, जो प्रथा बनकर बनी. ठीक है जी. Now it was considered as a murder according to every shastra, right? Hinduism religion के अंदर इसको तो murder कहा गया था. According to every shastra, it was a murder. Though later on it was a corrupt practice that got into Hinduism. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai, you know what he would do? He would cite old sacred text, right? He would cite from Hindu religion that this is wrong under Hinduism, and then he would also appeal on the basis of he same thing as I said, reason, humanity, okay, compassion. On all these bases he would even go to the funeral grounds जहाँ पर जलाया जाता है, यहाँ जलाया जाता है. मुस्लिम्स में तो ये प्रथा थी ही नहीं, which is a good thing. तो क्या होता था? He would visit the burning ghats and he would persuade the widows relative, do not do this. See, imagine if today somebody is dying and you have to go to the burning ghat and ask the people, do not do this, what will happen, right? Now बेंटिक जो था, ये बेंटिक ने सती प्रथा को फाइनली फिर बैन लगाया था. बेंटिक, राइट, इट इज़ एन ओवर है साथ में, बेंटिक. एंड दैट वाज इन 1829 एंड दैट वाज थ्रू बाय अ रेगुलेशन एक्ट एंड इट वाज नेम्ड एज 17 रेगुलेशन एक्ट 17 के थ्रू ये बैन लगा था. एंड there was a petition against it that this should not be banned. So many people, orthodox Hindus, were started saying do not ban sati. Can you imagine if I say do not ban sati? There's even if I file a case that sati should not be banned in India, sati should be allowed in India. Such a bad thing to happen. But then against that case, Raja Ram Mohan Roy filed a case that particular case should be dismissed. कि वो वाला केस डिसमिस कर दो. राजा राम मोहन ने इस बात का केस किया कि वो वाला केस डिसमिस कर दो जो कह रहा है कि इस रेगुलेशन एक्ट को बंद किया जाए जो कि सती पर बैन लगाता है. Okay, and then he was a champion of women rights. Okay, so he did a lot for women rights, especially he attacked polygamy. That was like a big thing. And then he demanded a right of inheritance was given to women, and then property that was for women, right? Now he did a lot for the modern education. Okay, and what did he do in this? First of all, he suggested that minimum age for this, like relevant to us, minimum age for civil services should be 22 years. Okay, and then he also favored introduction of a jury system. Jury system में क्या होता है? बस ऐसी पंचायत की तरह, तो 10 लोग बैठ गए जो मेजोरिटी फैसला कर दे. ठीक है. देयर वाज अ ब्यूटीफुल मूवी ऑन ज्यूरी सिस्टम, इफ़ यू वांट टू सी दैट मूवी. इसका नाम है एक रुका हुआ फैसला. बट एक रुका हुआ फैसला जो मूवी हिंदी में है, इट्स ओरिजिनल वर्जन, आई सीन दैट मूवी इज कॉल्ड 12 एंग्री मैन, एंड दैट इज इंग्लिश वर्जन, दैट इज फ्रॉम 1950s. तो ये रुका हुआ फैसला सम 86 के आसपास बनी थी. इफ यू गो सी ब्यूटीफुल मूवी, इंग्लिश वर्जन इज वे बेटर देन हिंदी वर्जन of the movie anyway. So jury system is there, okay. And then he assisted, he founded Hindu College. Now when I say Hindu College, actually there's a lot of controversy about this, right? Recently there was a post by Markandeya Kaju. He was a judge of Supreme Court of India some time back. Now he said that because it's a Hindu college, it becomes a communal idea in itself, right? Not this particular college, but like any college, right? He said, how can education be communal? So try to understand, you have to understand things in context. इस चीज़ को समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. कैसे जब ये हिंदू कॉलेज बना, एक्चुअली में what was happening that there was a lot of people who were, almost everyone of whom was a Hindu, right? Out of the 101 people who got admitted in the first year, only 2 people were Muslim and 99 were Hindus at that time. So Hindu college was made for the people who wanted to learn English, but it does not mean that this was only for Hindus, right? Everyone was in except Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, Jews and Protestants, everyone was accepted at this place, is Hindu college ke andar. The idea was not communal in itself, although the name might sound communal to few people, but it was first of all not by Britishers, it was by Hindus. And because of these things, Raja Ram Mohan Roy ko ab ye nahi keh sakte ki he was promoting communalism in India, right? It was not just Raja Ram Mohan Roy involved in making of this Hindu college. There were a lot of people who were involved in this thing, and I'll just enlist those people over here. So for the first name is David Hare, okay, David Hare. Second name is राधाकांत देव. राधाकांत देव ये आगे जाके लड़ भी पड़ेगा राजा राम मोहन रॉय से. राधाकांत देव, right? We'll talk about that abhi. And then there was Maharaja. Okay, I'm just writing these full names so that you can note down these names. Please try to remember these names. अभी के अभी, if you are not writing anything, please अभी अपने मन में इस नाम को 20 बारी बोलिए, याद कीजिए. डेविड हेयर, राधाकांत देव, महाराजा तेज चंद्र रे, महाराजा तेज चंद्र रे of Burdwan. Okay, so there were a few more people involved, and there was Prasanna Kumar Tagore. Prasanna Kumar Tagore. Okay, and then such a beautiful name, Prasanna Kumar Tagore. And then Babu Buddhinath Mukherjee. Babu Buddhinath Mukherjee. So please remember these names, right? David Hare, Radhakant Dev, Maharaja Tej Chandra Ray of Burdwan, then Prasanna Kumar Tagore, Babu Buddhinath Mukherjee, and finally there was one more person involved in formation of the Hindu college, and his name was Justice Sir Edward. Justice Sir Edward Hyde. Now these people were involved, okay, so many, 1 2 3 4 5 6 people were involved in formation of the Hindu college over here. So this college, it was for modern education, okay. And this college later on, right, what happens that this college later on, this is now more about Hindu college I'm writing here, and what happens in this college is later on known as the Presidency College, okay, Presidency College. And after the Presidency College, this is in 1855, and after this in 2000, probably it was 10 only, when Presidency University Act was passed, and this Hindu college came to be in the present form. It is known as the Presidency University, okay. This change into that. So this is what was the history of this college. This is very important for our paper, so that is why I have talked about all these names here. You please remember these names, okay. Let's move ahead with the next thing what he did. And then he was this was like Hindu college, and that was like much before in his earlier career only. And then in 1817 only, okay, this was 1817 when he established Hindu college. Then in 1817 only there was more. He ran many schools in Calcutta, not just colleges, but even this focused on primary education, and of course on higher education was there. So he asked he he supported Macaulay, Lord Macaulay, in introduction of English education in India. He prevailed over him rather, in Lord Macaulay, in the question of English education in India. Okay, and then later on in 1825, right? Remember 1833 he dies. So just few years before his death, almost 7-8 years before that, he starts a Vedanta college. Vedanta. Okay, and then he also compiled a Bengali grammar, right? Bengali grammar के बारे में इन्होंने बहुत कुछ किया, and his book is a landmark book on Bengali grammar. So that was his contribution to for that. Okay, and finally, he did his contribution. If we talk about it, then he contributed a lot for this what we call as a journalism, right? He, as a journalist, he worked a lot. How he worked? He established a newspaper called Sambad. This is Bengali spelling, Sambad Kaumudi. Now what do this? In this newspaper talks about the press, and then about the so-called freedoms of Indians. That he said that Indians should be included at the high ranks, and then he talks about the separation of the executive and judiciary in this. So these things he is talking about here. Okay, right. So plus he also started a newspaper. This was like one, and then he also started Mirat ul Akbar. Okay, he started this also, and in this this was in Persian. Okay, and then he also published a pamphlet. Okay, pamphlet normally to our mind is just one page. It can be much longer. Pamphlet with the title of which was An Exposition of Revenue and Judicial System in India. I'll write that name. An Exposition of Revenue and Judicial System in India. Okay, and then this he raises the question of administration of those times. He says administration is very poor, and he also urges the government that legislature and judiciary should be separated. So these were the things at that time happening. So these were his major contributions. Now two main contributions of him are left that we will do, and those are establishment of this Atmiya Sabha and then Brahmo Sabha. So these two sabhas are left. We will talk about those. Okay, so let me just rub this. This Atmiya Sabha, it started in the year 1814, and what was that? It was basically a philosophical discussion circle. This was basically for doing these discussions and to debate the monotheist Hindu Vedantism. So this was the main purpose of making this Hindu Vedantism, and this it was attended by okay, let me tell you something else. This was, of course, and this was in Bengal, and it was also attended by his name was Dwarkanath Tagore. He is the granddaddy of Rabindranath Tagore, right? Dwarkanath Tagore. Dwarka is a very famous place of Hindu religion. So that is a very old place, so you can remember that way, Dwarkanath Tagore. And then his son was Debendranath Tagore, and his son was Rabindranath Tagore. Okay. Now he was a zamindar, and he suggested that to Raja Ram Mohan Rai that this should be dissolved, and rather he should become the political agent of Dwarkanath Tagore. What was the work of the Atmiya Sabha? What all did they do was they opposed so many things. Okay, for example, they opposed worship of idols, right? They opposed worship of idols, and then they were against the rigidity of the caste. See, caste system will be okay in itself, as was the original caste system in which the migration was allowed. If you do any work, you can always migrate from lower caste to upper caste, whatever but there was no lower or higher caste. Actually, they were caste, but they were not lower or higher. Okay, and then they questioned they opposed meaningless religious rituals, unnecessary things, meaningless religious rituals. So many of religious rituals we followed day and night, which are of hardly any significance. Why do that unnecessarily, right? Do good act rather. And then he opposed priestly class. Why did he oppose? Because they encouraged all these practices, so they opposed priestly class. So that was their major work. And then on the other hand, that he said that all Hindu text, all Hindu text, it promotes monotheism, and he would prove it from religion. And then to prove this, that all Hindu text, they support monotheism, एक भगवान उसको सपोर्ट करते हैं. ही इवन ट्रांसलेटेड all the Vedas into Bengali. Raja Rammohn Roy to prove this. And he also translated 5 principal Upanishads. Upanishads को इन्होंने translate किया था, Upanishads into Bengali. Okay, बंगाली में ही किया था. So this is what he did as in Atmiya Sabha. And so now we will talk about the Brahmo Samaj. The Brahmo Samaj is little bit complex, so please try to focus on this. Brahmo Samaj started as a Brahmo Sabha, right? Just like Atmiya Sabha. In Sabha, they come together and discuss things. And it started in 1828, which later on turns into Brahmo Samaj because they were followers of it. And this Samaj, the Sabha, Brahmo Sabha, it was founded by Dwarkanath Tagore and Raja Rammohn Roy. Now this reminds me actually, anyway, let's leave it. Now the Dwarkanath Tagore plus Raja Rammohn Roy, and the main theme of the Brahmo Samaj was Nirgunta. Nirgun. God has no gun. He is formless, nothing, and focused on monotheism. And what is the purpose of this Brahmo Samaj? The purpose was to purify Hinduism, purify religion, purify Hinduism, and then preach monotheism. तो ये तो इसका है ही है, monotheism के पीछे पागल हो गया ये. And then he opposed idolatry, idol worship. क्यों? idolatry के अंदर क्या हो रहा है? कोई मिसयूज कर रहा है. कोई भी चीज़ अपने आप में बुरी नहीं होती. सी lot of people worship books, ठीक है, lot of people worship idols. You can worship anything, right? There was very famous in Punjab, there was a person Tanna Jatt, and what he did was he worshipped stone only. So whatever you want to worship, you can see God in that. Even the animal, the smallest even bacteria, you will find God in that if you are a religious person. And then obviously he criticized Sati. That was one of the most important contribution. And then every argument of his, all this was to be based on Vedas, and he would take logic out of it and on basis of Upanishads, right? So this was there. And after 1858, what started happening after 1858? Brahmos, they denied the need for priestly class. पंडितों की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. Okay. एंड प्रीस्टली क्लास की ज़रूरत नहीं है किस चीज़ के लिए? रिलीजियस टेक्स्ट को इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए. एंड दे ऑल्सो अपोज्ड, जो कि आत्मीय सभा ने सबने किया कि कास्ट सिस्टम को अपोज किया. ऑब्वियसली उन्होंने कास्ट सिस्टम किया था, लेकिन उन्होंने चाइल्ड मैरिज के बारे में काम नहीं किया था. तो चाइल्ड मैरिज इज़ अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट दिस थिंग they opposed, right? And they also opposed exploitation of women, right? And for example, they supported widow remarriage. तो इसकी उन्होंने सपोर्ट की, विडो रीमैरिज की. बच्चे की शादी होने नहीं देंगे, विडो की दोबारा करवा देंगे. ओके. एंड दे सपोर्टेड स्प्रेड ऑफ एजुकेशन, right? But then there was few limitations of Brahmo Samaj, and the limitation was that it was okay, I'm writing here limitation. And the limitation was that it was confined to urban areas. Number one, it did not have big base, and then there were a lot of internal dissensions. आपस में अंदर से टूट फूट हो रही थी. आप पार्टी में जैसे हम अक्सर सुनते हैं आजकल, internal dissensions were happening. Okay. Now, what kind of dissensions were happening? We will talk about all those. Okay. Now, what happens that in 1829? So let me just put a line here. Now, what happens in 1829? There is something called Dharmo Sabha. Okay, so this there is Dharmo Sabha. Dharma Sabha कह लीजिए, Dharmo Sabha कह लीजिए. Now, Radhakant Dev was active here. Radhakant Dev. This was actually started by his father. His name was Gopi Kant Dev. So everything is about Krishna. That is Gopi, Radha. Okay. So it was founded by his father Gopi Kant Krishna Dev, and then Radhakant Dev came on. And then this person, they were against why this Dharma Sabha came on. They were against the modern outlook of the Brahmo Samaj. Against modern outlook. राइट, मतलब व्हाट आर यू डूइंग वगैरह, कि हमारा जो कल्चर चलता आ रहा है, लेट इट मूव ऑन. एंड दिस पर्सन ऑल्सो, राधाकांत देव, ही ऑल्सो रोट अ बुक कॉल्ड शब्द कल्प द्रुम. दिस क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन पेपर. शब्द kalp drum, probably this was the spelling only. And he also started Gandhiya Samaj, I'm not sure of the spelling of that, and that was in 1820. Okay, and then it was in Bengal, of course, and this was for social reform. Right, basically they opposed anti-sati law, right? They opposed anti-sati law. In other words, they supported sati system, जो ये इन लोगों का था, जो धर्म सभा का सिस्टम था. ओके, सो ये इनका यहाँ पे ऐसे एक डिसेंशन है जो क्रिएट हो चुकी है. ठीक है, आई हैव टू रब इट अप बिकॉज आई वांट टू शो इट ऑल यू, एक चार्ट बना के की तरह. सो वी कैन मूव अहेड नाउ. So there was one more dissension, right, on the issues of defining the relationship between Brahmanism and Brahmo Samaj, because people are confusing Brahmanism, that is essentially Hindu religion, with the Brahmo Samaj. So what happened that Brahmo Samaj is now split into two parts, and one part is called All India Brahmo Samaj, All India Brahmo Samaj, and the other part, it is known as the Adi Brahmo Samaj. Okay, so this division over here, this is led by three people, the three radicals actually. And who are these people? Their names are Keshav Chandra Sen, KC Sen, Keshav Chandra Sen, KC, and Anand Mohan Bose, and finally Shiv Narayan Shastri. These people started All India Brahmo Samaj because they were radicals, right? They were confusing between Brahmanism and Brahmo Samaj. And then the other part of it, the Adi Brahmo Samaj, it was basically after All India Brahmo Samaj separated from the Brahmo Samaj. जब ये टूट गया Brahmo Samaj से, All India वाले टूट गए, तो जो बचा उसका नाम बच गया आदि, जो बच गया था. ठीक है, तो it was Adi Brahmo Samaj, and it was continued by Debendra. ठीक है, देवेंद्र ने इसे कंटिन्यू किया था, देवेंद्र नाथ टैगोर ने, विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट्स. एनीवे, सो विच वाज नॉट राइट. So this is what is happening, right? Now this person Debendranath Tagore, he also creates later on something called Tattva Bodhini Sabha. Now this is again a division of Brahmo Samaj, Adi Brahmo Samaj, Tattva Bodhini Sabha. But this Tattva Bodhini Sabha is back assimilated into the Brahmo Samaj in 1859, and it was basically splinter group only, right? Now after this, in 1878, Brahmo Samaj is divided again. Now this was happening in Dharma Sabha was in 1866, and this is happening in the Dharma Sabha was in 1829, right? Not 26. 1829, and this division is happening in 1866, and then finally in 1878 there is further division. In 1878 there is further division of this Samaj, and this time what happens that Anand Mohan Bose, right, and this S.N. Shastri, they separate from All India Brahmo Samaj. These two people, Anand Mohan Bose and Shastri, in 1878, and they start their own Samaj called Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. And ये ऐसा इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि ये परेशान हो जाते हैं इस टाइम पे. दे आर इनटू टेंशन वाज क्रिएटेड थ्रू केशव चंद्र सेन. क्यों होता है? जिन चीज़ों के अगेंस्ट द थिंग्स दिस ब्रह्मो समाज वाज फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट, दोज आर कमिटेड बाय केशव चंद्र सेन. एंड मिस्टर केशव चंद्र सेन क्या कर रहे होते हैं इस टाइम पे? वो अपनी डॉटर की ही गेट्स चाइल्ड मैरिज करवा देते हैं. जैसे आजकल होता है, उस टाइम पर भी ऐसे कई लोग करप्ट होते थे. तो चाइल्ड मैरिज, एंड देन ही डिक्लेयर्स हिमसेल्फ एज अ प्रॉफिट. And then finally, he also, Keshav Chandra Sen also introduced Kirtan and Bhajan, which were not acceptable in Brahmo Samaj. So finally these people 1828 के अंदर साधारण ब्रह्मो समाज बना लेते हैं. आनंद मोहन बोस और S.N. शास्त्री, शिव नारायण शास्त्री, ऐसा रहता है इनका यहाँ पे, राइट. और अब इसके अंदर आगे ये होता है कि if you talk about that, so that was about Brahmo Samaj, right. Overall, if we talk about Raja Ram Mohan Rai, some of his associates, if I have to name them, they were David Hare was there, Okay, that can be a question in paper, that which all people were involved. Was there, we are talking about the associates of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. One was David Hare, he was a Dutch watchmaker, and then other person was Alexander Duff. I am telling you these names because these can be asked in paper. It will help you make a good intelligent guess in paper. And he was a Scottish missionary, and he was also in touch with Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Alexander Duff. And then there was, we know about Dwarkanath Tagore. Dwarkanath Tagore is an interesting story actually. His grave is in London, right? And he also founded the first coal mine in Raniganj. Just as an extra information for you, रानीगंज के अंदर पहली कोल माइन द्वारकानाथ टैगोर ने शुरू की थी. एंड हिज बेटा वॉज देवेंद्रनाथ टैगोर एंड हिज सन वॉज रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर. And then Prasanna Kumar Tagore we have already talked about. Then there was also Tara Chand Chakravarti. This name is also it was there once in paper. Tara Chand Chakravarti. And this Tara Chand Chakravarti, he was also the first secretary of Brahmo Samaj. So that is why it became important. And then finally Akbar II sent him to London. Akbar II, he was a Mughal emperor, Akbar II. And he also gave him the title of Raja. He was to go there to Britishers and present the case of Raja, that Mughal that उसकी कोई राजाशिप emperorship को abolish ना किया जाए, और कहीं से जो सती abolition act, it should not be abolished. And while he's in London, Raja Ram Mohan Roy died of disease of meningitis. दिमाग की बीमारी होती है, meningitis, and he dies over there. Okay, so these were one of the major reformer and the reforms introduced during the first half of the 19th century. Right now we will talk about other reformers of this period. For example, the next one I am going to talk about is, this will be very quick lecture. After this, understanding part is almost over. Now Henry Vivian Desrosiers. And the moment I think of Desrosiers, the first word that comes to my mind is the Young Bengal movement. Actually, what happened, that this person was such a brilliant person. At the age of 17, Henry Vivian Desrosiers started teaching, right? And his students, the movement they started, that was known as the Young Bengal movement. And he was much more modern than Raja Ram Mohan Roy even. And he would teach, he was a teacher at Hindu college only. We talked about just few minutes back. And then he followed the most radical views of the time. He was inspired by French Revolution, and then the first nationalist poet of, इसको आप कह सकते हैं, modern India. He's the first nationalist poet of modern India. This is very important fact for us. It just might be in your paper. First, right now, he's one of his students. His name was Kashi Prasad Ghosh. Even he became a very great poet of India later on. Kashi Prasad Ghosh. And he was another great poet of India. Now he carried on whatever work was done by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and but he didn't succeed much, right? This is an important fact, that he didn't succeed much. And the reason of his not so successful career was that because social condition was not right. The Muslims, the Hindus, the Sikhs, everyone in India, not the Sikhs actually, because his area was not related to them, basically the Hindus and Muslims. So social conditions were not right in those areas. And second thing, he did not take up the cause of peasants, right? Because there was no other class or group of Indians at that time which could support Desrosiers' advanced ideas. Only peasants would have supported Desrosiers, right? But they did not support peasants, so ultimately they could not gain much. Okay, and finally, one last important fact that I would like to talk about him is this, that he wrote a book. It's called To India, My Native Land. Don't please think that he was a foreigner. He was an Indian only. And To India, My Native Land. And in this book, he talks about the pain given to him by the British rule. Okay, so that was Henry Vivian Desrosiers. Right. The next person is Debendranath Tagore. I have already talked to you about Dwarkanath Tagore. So next comes Devendra द्वारका एक इज अ वेरी ओल्ड सिटी एंड देन दैट इज वाई सबसे ओल्डेस्ट एंड रविंदर इज द यंगेस्ट एंड बीच में आ गया देवेंद्रनाथ टैगोर. इसके बारे में बात करते हैं. दिस पर्सन एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर प्लेड इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट तत्वबोधिनी सभा एंड देन ही वाज सन ऑफ द्वारकानाथ टैगोर एंड फादर रविंदर. नाउ दिस पर्सन he basically propagated ideas of the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, right? And in time it came to include most of the prominent followers. देखो राजा राम मोहन राय के या फिर जितने भी फॉर एग्जांपल डेरोजियो के फॉलोअर थे या फिर ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर के फॉलोअर थे दे और या फिर अक्षय कुमार दत्त के फॉलोअर थे जितने, तो ये ऑल दीज पीपल दे स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग देवेंद्रनाथ टैगोर. एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट अक्षय कुमार दत्त ही सेड कि जितना नेचर के अंदर फिनोमिना है, ऑल द नेचुरल फिनोमिना कैन बी एक्सप्लेन्ड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ अ प्योरली मैकेनिकल प्रोसेस. दैट मीन्स ही वाज अ वेरी वेरी scientific viewpoint. Okay, and he said that whatever argument we give, that should be based on the welfare of the society. Those should be given keeping society in mind. So this person, this thought process is very very important for UPSC exam, because whatever we have to do keeping in mind the interest of the society. Okay, and that of course that Tatvabodhini Patrika was also started by him, and that was in Bengali. Care. Now, his main contribution was in 1843, and that was when he reorganized Brahmo Samaj. And what he did, he same old things were brought back. For example, widow remarriage should be done, abolition of polygamy, and women education, and improvement of Riyadh's conditions. And this is typical that he was talking about Riyadh condition. This was a big thing, because this is an exception. This can come as a question in paper. And then he repudiated the infallibility of the Vedas. He said that the Vedas are fallible. Whatever is wrong in Veda, that should also be done away with. Okay, so this was about it. Now the next person is this person, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Let me quickly tell you about him. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, IC Vidyasagar. It is a very interesting name. His original name is Ishwar Chandra Bandyopadhyay, but he's called Vidyasagar because he was Vidyasagar means sea of knowledge, right? And because of his immense knowledge, he was given this title by the Sanskrit college. And actually this man came from a very poor family. He had no money to study, but eventually he went on to become the principal of this college. And not just this, he started teaching there at the age of 17 years. This is such an educated person, right? And he also wrote a book on Bengali primer. Basically this primer जो है ये किताब है, it is a book which contains simplified Bengali prose. तो बंगाली के जितने लिटरेचर को लेकर बंगाली के इसके बहुत बड़ा इसने कंट्रीब्यूशन किया था यहाँ पे. ओके, इट इज यूज्ड इवन टुडे जो ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर का दिस कंट्रीब्यूशन इट्स यूज्ड इवन टुडे, राइट? नाउ ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड दिस सो संस्कृत कॉलेज. दिस संस्कृत कॉलेज वाज स्टार्टेड बाय इन 1791. इट वाज बाय अ पर्सन कॉल्ड एज Jonathan Duncan, and it was open to non-Brahmins, and that is why so many it helped in spread of Sanskrit language. And second thing is it introduced Western thought in Sanskrit college, okay, which is a big thing because Sanskrit ke andar you do not expect them to study. He worked a lot for his major contribution was in this field, and this was women emancipation. Women ki condition sudharne ke andar he played a huge role. So women emancipation. And he actually what he did that first this is very important thing which I am telling you now. First lawful Hindu remarriage was done under inspiration of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and it was in 1856 that this widow remarriage act was passed, right? He did a lot for widow remarriage, so this widow remarriage act was passed. And then he was also secretary to Bethune School. Bethune School was, I have already talked to you about this. This was established in 1849, and this was for female education. Okay, so those were his main roles. So if I have to sum it up in just two words, number one, his contribution was in field of education, and number two was in the field of female emancipation. Okay, female emancipation, those were two his major contributors, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Okay, so now these were the major. Now let's talk about the contribution of other reformers in India, right? These were basically in the western part of India, almost all of them. So I will just give a quick summary of all these people, right? So the first person I will be talking here is his name is Bal Shastri. Bal Shastri Jambekar. Okay, and this person he started it was in 1832, right? 1832, and he started a weekly magazine which was called Darpan. The Darpan, right? And then he was basically against all kind of ignorance. So his reform movement, his reforms were about removing ignorance को ख़त्म किया जाए, यही इनका मेन फोकस था. Ignorance should be ended. Okay, so I'll just draw the line here, and this is so Bal Shastri Jambekar, and here we know 1832 his major magazine was the Darpan, and then the major reforms he was against ignorance. Okay, so let me just draw one more line here. Right, now second person, it will be a mixture of people and organization. The second thing I would like to talk to you is about Paramhans Mandali. This Paramhans Mandali, this was started in 1849, and this was started by it was started by Dadoba Pandurang. So I'll just write the name of the magazine or the name of the person who started it over here. So it was started by Dadoba Pandurang. Important thing, this has been asked in paper few times. And purpose was they were fighting idolatry and caste system. So that was their main contribution. This is what they were fighting, caste system. So what is it? Paramhans Mandali, it was started in 1849 by Dadoba Pandurang, and it was against idolatry and caste system. Okay, third thing over here that comes is Prarthana Samaj. This Samaj started in also in 1849 only, 1849, and its aim was they wanted to reform Hindu religion with modern knowledge. Okay, modern knowledge. So this is what they wanted to do, and it was basically, we can say that it was a parallel of Brahmo Samaj in Western India, right? In other words, it was a parallel of Brahmo Samaj in Western India. Okay, and who started it? It was started by Bal Krishna Jaikar. Bal Krishna Jaikar, that was his name, and it basically attacked caste system, the same those things, because they were prevalent throughout India. So he was attacking caste system, orthodoxy, and they were against the domination of the priest. We know this was also done by Brahmo Samaj. So everything they did was also done here. There were few important leaders of this let's say club or a group over here, Prarthana or Samaj over here. And what are the names of those leaders? They are okay, let me just write them here only. I am writing leaders here, and those are R.G. So first was R.G. Bhandarkar, right? R.G. Bhandarkar. I am just writing short names. And then second was M.G. Ranade. So Bhandarkar, Ranade, and third person was Viresa Lingam. Viresalingam. So these three people were contributing a lot. Okay, so who are these people? R.G. Bhandarkar, Madhur Bhandarkar आपका नाम सुना होगा आपने, M. रानाडे था, और वीरेशलिंगम थे. ठीक है, अब जो भंडारकर था, he was a Sanskrit scholar, right? Bhandarkar. Okay, and this Ranade, this was he also established this what do you call this, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. Pune, he was there also. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. So this person is part of Prarthana Samaj also, and Pune Sarvajanik Sabha also, M.G. Ranade. And then this Vireslingam, he spread this movement to South India. He took this movement to South India of reformist movement जो इस टाइम पर चल रही थी. Okay, so this was one movement, right? For the purpose of brevity, I am doing this over here. in writing in a very short form. Okay, so this प्रार्थना समाज 1849 बालकृष्ण जयकर ने शुरू की थी. आर मधुर भंडारकर यानी आरजी भंडारकर, एमजी रानडे और विरसा लिंगम, and right, reform Hinduism and all that story which you already know now. Okay, now the next person who came at this time, important person is there is a movement, actually this is known as the okay, just let me write the full name. Students, very important movement, literary and साइंटिफिक सोसाइटी. सर हमें आज भी ऐसी कुछ मूवमेंट्स शुरू करने की ज़रूरत है, isn't it? Now this was in 1848 and Western India, we all know this, that Mumbai area basically, and it was basically started by Jagannath Shankar Seth. Jagannath Shankar Seth. See, many of you might be thinking ये मैं टेबल आपको ऐसी कहीं दे ही क्यों नहीं देता, मैं बना क्यों रहा हूँ आपके साथ, मैं टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है. प्लीज डोंट थिंक सो. आप पढ़ लेंगे. टेबल मार्केट में अवेलेबल है यार, हर जगह अवेलेबल है. गो एंड बाय एनी बुक, दीज टेबल्स आर एवरीवेयर. ठीक है, बट द पॉइंट दैट विल बी मेयर वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम. आई एम टेलिंग यू, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू राइट दोज पेपर्स, दोज थिंग, दीज टेबल्स इन पेपर इफ यू डू नॉट मेक देम ऑन योर ओन, है ना. To try to understand them. Okay, so this was about the students literary and scientific society. Okay, so let me just move to the second one, next one, and this is okay. Now we talk about a movement by a very important person of our history, and his name is Jyotiba Phule. Right, very few people have reached the status, that the contribution that he made. Very few people have been able to do that. Okay, now he okay, we'll write the year in this. I'll just draw the column quickly. Right, and then so we were writing about the magazine, and then the details were there. Okay, so let me just hide this one and let me just show this one, and then we'll write the name of the publication over here, publication, and then other details ahead. Okay, or we also name the people, name the important contributors were also being written in this column only. Right, so right, so we talk about Jyotiba Phule. The typical thing about him, he was born in a very low caste family. He was born in a Mali family, and but you won't believe this, right? He started many girls' schools were started by him. Many girls' schools, and he was they were promoted by Bhaudaji, and he was a pioneer of the widow remarriage in Maharashtra. Widow remarriage. अगर उस तरफ ईश्वर चंद्र विद्यासागर played a big role, here in Maharashtra it was played by Jyotiba Phule. Now he still remembered to this date, right? He campaigned, he was against caste domination, right? He purified Hinduism by this way. So he was against caste domination and Brahminical supremacy. He was against the Brahminical system, right? And then the Samaj that he started, right, it was named as Satya Shodhak Samaj. Satya ko dhoondne wala, shodh karne wala Samaj. Satya Shodhak Samaj, that was his contribution. Okay, Satya Shodhak Samaj, and it's a religion, basically kind of a religion established by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, and it was established in the year 1873, and it started as a group, right, whose main aim was to liberate the social Shudra and the untouchable caste from, right, so liberation of untouchables, that was their main thing, right, liberation of untouchable. He did a lot for those people who were socially oppressed by others, right? So we'll talk about the next. Let me quickly draw the line here. Satya Shodham, Brahminical, and liberation of untouchable. So next is next person is Vishnu Shastri Pandit. Let me write his name. Vishnu Shastri Pandit. Okay, and this person he founded the Widow Remarriage Association. Imagine, matlab, we went to this extent that we were making Widow Remarriage Association even. So that was his main contribution. Nothing much more to know about him, right? So next person we would like to talk to you about is, his name is Karson Das Moolji. This can be in your paper. Karson Das Moolji. Right, Karson Das Moolji, and he started a magazine in the name of which was Satya Prakash. Please remember, this is not Satyarth Prakash, this is Satya Prakash. We are not talking about Arya Samaj here, we're just talking about Karson Das Moolji started Satya Prakash, and this was for widow remarriage. Okay, and this the same thing for this thing, this was also for widows. This Vishnu right, Vishnu Shastri Pandit. This is Pandit here. Okay, if anyone has any confusion, I'll read the names. Don't worry for the handwriting. The first one is Jyotiba Phule, then Vishnu Shastri Pandit. He started Widow Remarriage Association, and this is Karson Das Moolji, and he started this Satya Prakash, and this was also about widow remarriage. Okay. What next? Next we have Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Right, you all must be knowing this name very well. Gopal Hari Deshmukh, right? So basically, if you can guess also by names that we are talking about the Western people only. So this is Gopal Hari Deshmukh, and this person Gopal Hari Deshmukh, he is also known as the Lok Hitvadi. Lok Hit Wadi, that Gopal Hari Deshmukh, या फिर लोक हितवादी Gopal Hari Deshmukh, right? And he said that we need to reorganize Indian society. So he was focused on reorganizing Indian society. So that means he was working for all the religions and communities, and he wanted it to happen on rationality, right, and secular principles, rationality and secular basis के ऊपर this person Gopal Hari Deshmukh लोक हितवादी इनको कहते थे, right? And he would always he would write in Marathi language, of course, and then he said if religion didn't reform change it. He was so much against anything that was against the society, right? So he was saying that if anything is against the religion, it's better that if we change that thing only. Okay, right. So next person is Rabindranath Tagore. We have already talked about it. Okay, I can tell you this. There can be long lecture on him. Rabindranath Tagore will come later also. We'll do that later. But for now, he wrote Bengali primers just like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, right? He wrote many Bengali primers. Okay, now these were the main reformers of the Western India. And now if I talk about other few people, okay, let me just put a line over here for this person also. Right. So this is Rabindranath Tagore. Next person is Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. Ajit Agarkar, that cricketer, everyone knows him. So, but you don't know Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. Gopal bhi और Ganesh bhi, हाँ, Gopal Krishna, Ganesh है. So, he advocated human reason, right? And he started this Ferguson College, and okay, let me write here. He started this Ferguson College. He played a role in that. Obviously he didn't start it directly, right? He had a role in it. And then he also started this Deccan Education Society. Now we have moved from west to Deccan area now. So Deccan Education Society, and this person was mainly active around the formation of the Congress 1884 के आसपास था, and his main purpose was for which he was working was education for the trodden. That was his main motive, right? Now, but he has been criticized because the criticism of this person is that he relied too much on religion, right? Reliance on religion, that was bad about him because he was using religion, and then there was a lot of false glorification of the Indian past by a lot of these people, right? It's not just this person. A lot of these people I have talked about, they were misusing religion. These are the negative aspects of it. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just write it on a different slide for you. Yeah, okay. So basically we are talking about that the negative things about these people. It was having, number one was blind dependence on religion was there, right? Blind dependence. And second thing was about the false glorification of the past. मतलब कुछ ज़्यादा ही बड़ा चढ़ाकर वो हमारे पास को बताने लगे, हम इतने भी महान नहीं थे जितना इन्होंने हमें बना दिया. तो false glorification of past is the criticism of these movements, right? So with this we are done with the all these things. I'll just, if you want to see, I'll quickly show you the institutions that we just covered. So one was this Bal Shastri Jambekar and Paramhans Mandli and Prarthana Samaj and Student Literary and Scientific Society. Please try to remember these names. Like for Paramhans Mandli, Dadoba Pandurang is there, so please remember all these names. Okay, and then after that, there comes this second organization, which is about Jyotiba Phule, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, he widow remarriage, right? Pandit, and then Karson Das Moolji, he was also about widow remarriage. Then Deshmukh was Lokhitwadi, and he did that Indian Society on Scientific Line. Rabindranath Tagore is there, and then Gopal Ganesh Agarkar is there. He's related to Ferguson College and Deccan Education Society. Okay, and the negative aspect of some of these movements was that in general they were blindly dependent, they were finally blindly dependent on a religion, right? That was their problem, and there was false glorification of the past. Okay, so this was about today's lecture. Now I have one very, very important announcement to make here, and that is, please share this video with everyone. The more you share, faster I make the videos. And second thing is, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि वीडियो की information notification आपकी email में आ जाए सीधा, तो you can always click on subscribe button, click here, and then you will have the subscribe here. Click on that, you will have videos directly to your account. And future जितनी भी videos and आने वाले time में जितने भी subjects हम cover करेंगे, all that would be covered. So that is all, and thank you for watching.